Trapped in the suffocating silence of her cabin, Jackie Rogers stares at her reflection, realizing her body has become a literal prison. Her massive frame keeps her entirely cut off from the world, a devastating reality that grows heavier with each passing day. And when she finally attempts to escape this isolation, even a simple seatbelt refuses to fit around her. This humiliating struggle on the road to recovery serves as a terrifying warning that time is rapidly running out. Deep within the quiet woods, a rustic cabin holds a soul buried beneath layers of physical and emotional pain. For Jackie Rogers, the walls of this sanctuary have slowly morphed into a fortress of isolation, where even the simplest daily routines become monumental battles against her own body. The heavy silence of her confinement is only broken when Aunt Teresa arrives to check on her. Serving as a second mother, Teresa provides a vital lifeline of love and support to a niece who has otherwise completely withdrawn from the outside world. But even with family support, the emotional void remains, driving Jackie Rogers back to her oldest coping mechanism. He prepares a massive breakfast, seeking solace in the only companion that has never judged her, offering a fleeting escape from her painful reality. This deep-seated reliance on food stems from a childhood fractured by her mother's severe alcoholism. Constant threat of unpredictable aggression and neglect forced young Jackie Rogers to seek comfort in eating, planting the seeds of an addiction that would eventually consume her. The trauma only intensified with her father's violent outbursts, leaving her with no safe haven at home. Lacking any stability or emotional protection, she turned further inward, using food as a shield to block out the terrifying chaos of her family life. By the time she reached high school, her weight had already climbed past 500 pounds, and her mother suddenly passed away when Jackie Rogers was just 16. Her fragile world shattered completely, leaving her with no other way to cope but to eat. Years later, tragedy struck again when she came home to find her father deceased on the floor. This second devastating loss stripped away her remaining support system, plunging her into a profound, suffocating loneliness that accelerated her downward spiral. Now, even the simplest attempt to leave her cabin requires an agonizing amount of preparation. Applying baby powder just to fit into her shoes, Jackie Rogers faces the harsh reality of how severely her body restricts her freedom. Stepping into the truck beside her grandfather Willie, she is gripped by intense anxiety about the journey ahead. Her massive stomach makes driving herself impossible, forcing her to rely entirely on others for any connection to the outside world. That anxiety peaks when they arrive at the grocery store, where she must endure the cruel stares of strangers. Feeling judged and mocked like a circus freak, the humiliating experience makes her want to retreat back into her isolation forever. To cope with the pain of public humiliation, she immediately turns back to her familiar source of comfort. Ordering fast food from the passenger seat, she seeks the temporary emotional relief of eating, despite knowing these choices are actively killing her. Realizing that she cannot survive much longer on this path, Jackie Rogers finally decides to seek professional help. Gathering her bags with Willie, she prepares for a high-stakes journey to Houston to meet with the renowned bariatric surgeon, Dr. Now, the long drive quickly becomes a grueling test of physical endurance, as her massive frame makes sitting unbearable. Every mile brings intense discomfort, but her desperate desire for a normal life keeps her moving forward despite the agonizing pain. During a roadside pit stop, the physical toll of the trip triggers her familiar cravings once again. As Willie fetches food from a taco stand, Jackie Rogers seeks immediate comfort, illustrating how deeply her eating habits are still driving her actions. Eagerly unwrapping the food in the front seat, she convinces herself that this is her final indulgence. Though she knows Dr. Now would highly disapprove, she clings to this last moment of comfort before facing the strict reality of her upcoming diet. Arriving in Houston, the sight of the clinic fills her with a sudden wave of intense anxiety. These towering medical buildings represent her only glimmer of hope, but also a terrifying reminder of what she stands to lose if she is turned away. That fear becomes concrete when she steps onto the clinic's heavy-duty scale to face the truth. The scale reveals a shocking weight of 710 pounds, filling Jackie Rogers with deep embarrassment under Willie's worried gaze. In the examination room, Dr. Now delivers a blunt assessment of her critical physical state. He explains that her massive, hanging abdomen is a direct result of years of severe overeating, warning her that immediate weight loss is her only path to survival. To prove she is ready to save her own life, Dr. Now prescribes a strict 1,200-calorie diet. He demands that she lose 70 pounds in just 2 months, setting a high bar to test her true commitment to this journey. As Willie tearfully admits his terrifying fear of outliving his granddaughter, the emotional stakes become crystal clear. Hearing his desperation reinforces her resolve to strictly follow Dr. Now's instructions and fight for a future with her family. Clutching the diet guidelines tightly, she prepares to return home with a clear but daunting roadmap. Dr. Now's final warning rings in her ears, reminding her that she is pushing her body to its absolute limit with no room for failure. Back at the cabin, she immediately puts her plan into action, pushing through the physical pain of exercise. Lifting weights on her porch, she dedicates herself to daily movement, determined to prove she has the strength to change her destiny. In the kitchen, she focuses on preparing fresh, low-carb meals with the invaluable help of Aunt Teresa. Learning to measure her portions is a massive adjustment, but Teresa's constant encouragement makes the difficult transition much easier to handle. Together, they take slow, deliberate walks down the dirt driveway, turning a simple path into a runway of hope. Every step represents a hard-fought victory over her past sedentary lifestyle, bringing her closer to her ultimate goal of surgery. 2 months of hard work lead back to Houston for her first critical follow-up appointment. Despite her dedication, she is consumed by anxiety, terrified of disappointing her supportive family and the demanding doctor. Now, the scale delivers a crushing blow, revealing a weight loss of only 20 pounds. This disappointing result falls far short of her 70-pound goal, leaving Jackie Rogers deeply confused and devastated by the setback. Doctor now delivers a stern reality check, explaining that such a low number proves she is still overeating. He urges her to stop making excuses and honestly confront the destructive habits that are holding her back from success. Despite his disappointment, Doctor now offers her one more chance, instructing her to cut her current portions in half. He demands a 70-pound loss over the next 2 months, warning her that her time is rapidly running out. Determined not to fail again, Jackie Rogers redoubles her efforts and intensifies her daily workouts. Pushing past severe muscle soreness, she lifts weights on her porch, desperate to prove her commitment to transforming her body. Yet when she returns to the scale for her next weigh-in, history tragically repeats itself with only another 20-pound loss. Despite her intense efforts, this slow progress leaves her feeling utterly defeated and terrified of Dr. Now's reaction. Faced with her lack of progress, Dr. Now issues a final, sobering ultimatum. He warns her that she has exactly one more chance to lose 70 pounds, or she will be permanently dismissed from the program. Recognizing that her struggles are deeply psychological, she begins therapy with Dr. Paradise. Sitting on his couch, he takes her first painful steps toward healing by opening up about her traumatic childhood and the heavy burden of her parents' deaths. During a tearful breakthrough, Dr. Paradise helps her realize how she has used food to suppress her immense grief. She acknowledges that she has spent her entire life trying not to be a burden, hiding her pain behind her addiction. Armed with this new self-awareness, she begins journaling to process her complex emotions on paper. This simple act of expression helps her release the lingering pain of her past, clearing the mental path for physical success. This emotional healing translates directly to the scale during her final chance weigh-in. He has successfully shed a stunning 63 pounds, proving to Dr. Now and to herself that she is finally ready for the life-saving surgery. A wave of pure relief washes over her as Dr. Now officially approves her for bariatric surgery. Her dedication to therapy and her strict diet have finally paid off, opening the door to a healthy, independent future. She is rolled into the operating room. She feels a mixture of intense nerves and profound excitement. This surgery represents the precious second chance at life she has fought so incredibly hard to secure over many grueling months. Using advanced robotic tools, Dr. Now successfully performs the sleeve gastrectomy on Jackie Rogers. By removing a massive portion of her stomach, this crucial procedure will help her control her appetite and sustain her inspiring weight loss journey. Months later, Jackie Rogers celebrates her incredible transformation by enjoying a family trip to a safari park. Having lost over 100 pounds, she can finally step out of her isolation, embrace nature, and live the vibrant life she always deserved.